Hello, everybody. What I thought I'd do in the first few minutes that I have here at the top, and we'll have more time later for discussion, but to talk a little bit about the history of our program structure, much like John has done with the Carlton program. And it is, yes, a shameless plug, shameless promotion, I guess, of the program as far as my motive. For anybody who's interested, of course, in pursuing graduate studies, or anybody who's potentially considering hiring students for an internship or for jobs. But also, of course, just sort of set the stage for comments and discussion that will follow later. Among the matters I'd like to address at some point, again, are sort of the kinds of students we attract, who we'd like to attract, and what they end up doing once they leave here. As Dee mentioned in the introduction, I'm the acting coordinator for the program in Public History. So I'm filling in this year for Michelle Hamilton, who's been the director since 2008. She's on sabbatical this year, although she still hasn't left.
Yeah.
So,
Doing it wrong, Michelle.
I know.
Is this an interim performance already?
Yeah, that's right. Which will tie into another point we'll pick up on later, in that you can never really step away for that long from a program like this. But I've been formally connected with the program since 2006 as the internship coordinator. And as I've been thinking about recently, I haven't really been away from the program for 20 years. So as a student in this program back in '96, so I've been loosely affiliated with it ever since. So in that time, 20 years, and incidentally next year is the 30th year of the program. So it's the oldest program. It's not the first public history program in Canada. That was at Waterloo, but it's certainly the oldest. And in that time, both myself and Michelle have witnessed many changes to the program, and some of those, of course, as I say, firsthand. It began as a 2-year program in 1986. By 1993, it became a 1-year program. Went from sort of a handful of students and sort of more or less crept upward, the enrollment. So that by 2000, certainly when I came in as the internship coordinator in 2006, we've averaged anywhere between 10 and 15 students. We'll get anywhere between sort of 40 and 60, 70 applications a year. And we try to hold it around 12 would be the optimal number for many reasons. One of the main reasons, of course, is that there's a major group project, and that can become very unwieldy and unmanageable when you go beyond, well, I argue when you go beyond 5.
Yeah.
So any more than certainly 12 or 15 maximum, it'd be I'd say impossible to do. The program began really as a move to almost create a Canadian equivalent to what was going on in the United States, or in the late 70s and in the early 80s. So the National Council on Public History, sort of our professional organization, that was first developed in California. They held their annual conference in 1983 at the University of Waterloo. Waterloo had just launched its program in public history, and I think that really helped spur interest among very few historians of the Western to perhaps do the same. So by 1986, there was a program. Several faculty, as I say, were, and it was ultimately made possible by a donation, a fairly sizable donation by the George Cedric Metcalf Foundation, charitable foundation, the Metcalf Foundation. George Jr. was a faculty person that was a historian in our department, Western. Certainly by the mid-70s and into the 80s, he was also directing the foundation. So he arranged to have money put into a fund to create, maintain a public history program. That support still remains the core support for our financial, or core source, I guess, of our financial support to this day. So despite being in existence for about 12 years, or just over 12 years, we didn't really have a full-time permanent director of public history until 99, 2000. And that's someone who is like a particular faculty member who is specifically attached to directing the program. Most of his or her work is of course, patterned around that. Alan McEachern was that first director. He's since moved on. He's still in the department, of course, but he got involved in many other things, including niche. But it was under his direction that this program really blossomed into what you would identify as a program. So it's a set of courses and projects that are specifically designed to train students, to enable them to develop these particular skill sets and to give them the knowledge and the expertise in the field. And that's what we have now. So over the last 15 years or so, there have been a number of courses. We went from a program that had an internship component, and we still do right from the beginning, and sort of one core course that was the history, theory, practice of public history, into a program that has courses in archives management, museology, much like the program at Carleton as well, digital history, interactive exhibit design, those kinds of social memory. And so it's really grown that way to encompass quite a few different kinds of courses.
In a minute.
A minute, okay. Well, in that minute, I'll just throw out 3 questions and these are things that we'll be talking about now for the next hour or so. But 3 questions if you're thinking about a public history program in Canada and the future of public history programs in Canada, of course, being the title of the panel. Core financial support, I mentioned the Metcalf here, I think is extremely important, particularly these days, because if it, many of our programs, many of our departments positions, of course, are up to the whims of political economic climate and the vagaries of that climate, and it's determined by university administrations. You really do need to have some sort of stable funding in order to plan or to strategize. It's a program that's continuity is extremely important, and you are planning years in advance. So again, you can't have your budgets changing on you year in, year out. Do you have the faculty and the staff support, of course, to carry that out? It can't, and we've seen this happen, it can't really be a one-person show. That's what happened in Waterloo for the most part. When that person goes on sabbatical or some sort of leave or just wants to teach something different, the program falls apart. There's nobody to step up, and you cannot have a program and continue to recruit, continue to be successful if you are just staffing those positions on contract here on the ground. Yeah. So there's that to keep in mind. In terms of commitment, as I mentioned.
Quickly,
yes.
just a couple of other
Okay.
points.
Third point that Jean-Pierre will also be talking about, something to keep in mind is the marketplace and whether there are jobs for your students to go into. Is there a market? Are there jobs for the graduates? As a program, you need your graduates to succeed. And we'll talk about the onus being on the students, but it also comes back, of course, for the sake of a continued program and the sake of having trained historians. I think what we do helps shape those messages that are being communicated to the public.
Excellent. Well, thank you to our panelists.